In a world where information seems to travel at the speed of light and traffic at a snail's pace, where the agenda of those at the helm doesn't always reflect the pressures on the streets, where the rubber hits the road, where there's queue of issues needing to be interrogated in the name of speaking truth to power.
Welcome to a place at the table,
where we set the agenda,
table the issues that matter to you,
and invite you to take a seat at the table.
Welcome. Get ready for some holistic treatment at the table. I'm saying, from beginner mode to survivor mode, we're building in a different world.
You got my attention, Bright. Nothing more holistic than addressing money matters, eh? For me, I'll be asking, are budgets merely rituals or supporting reality?
Hey, Yinka, budgeting is good for the soul. Well, I'm tackling a matter of the heart and saying, as regards the gender gap, let love lead.
pure and simple, Zumah, and nobody need add anything to it. After all, age is nothing but a number, especially if the ladies pay close attention to what I'm about to say. I've titled it Muscles for Menopause.
Interesting one there, muscles for menopause. Coach Kate, well done. I'll be exercising our minds on the issue of the fight for the soul of meritocracy in Nigeria and highlighting tech-driven exam fraud.
Like I said, we have something for the heart, body, and soul. If you're thinking that you've come to the right place, I'll second that by saying, yes, you have. As young people, we often hear from our parents, at your age, I already built a house. Or when I was 25, I was already married with kids. But here's the truth. Our world is not their world. 50 years ago, salaries could buy land. A civil servant would pay school fees, own a home, and still save money. Today, in Nigeria, inflation is 33.95%, the highest it has been in 28 years. Food price alone rose by nearly 40% this year. Owning a home, less than 10% of Nigerians can afford to own a home without loans. So when parents compare their milestone to ours, it's like comparing two different games. They played on beginner mode. We are playing on survivor mode. And it's not just economics. It's expectation. Society still cling to the same outdated checklist. Get married by 25, buy a house by 30, stable career by 35. But how do you achieve old outcome under new, harsher rules? Look around. We live in a digital, globalized, and always-on world. Competition isn't just with your neighbors. It's with someone in India, Kenya, China, or the US. Remote jobs, AI, currency devaluation. This is completely a new reality. And yet, too many young people are carrying unnecessary shame. Shame that they are not married. Shame that they are still renting. Shame that their hustle doesn't look like their parents' stability. But let me tell you this, you're not behind. The rules have shifted. The economy has shifted. The world has shifted. So stop carrying guilt for not meeting outdated milestone. Instead, build resilience and define success on your own terms. Because you're not broken, you're not broke. You're building in a different world. What matters now isn't how quickly you tick those boxes. It's how you adapt. Success today isn't about owning a house by 30. It's about building skills and network that would outlast this chaos. Because if the world has changed and is changing, our rules as young people must change too.
Not only shifted, I wrote here, the world as we know it has changed. Traditional values, some of which have lost their flavor and values in today's world, have no place in it. We were having a conversation when we were coming. Like, I understand how young people can be pressured. Let's take social media, of course, that's the obvious example of what they see. But I also remember seeing Tyrese Williams, what's his surname? His video that he had with Kate Franklin. I don't know if you see it, if you check it on Instagram. He said, I don't want anything that you have. I'm going to do my own. You are successful. Hey, all well and good. Shut up.
Shout out to you.
Let me walk my own lane. You're showing me it's possible. Yes, but I will get there. I'm not late. You have all you have. I don't want it. I will make my own way. And young people have to come to that place where, yes, your parents got married at 25, had houses, but the world as we know it, the value system has changed totally.
Yeah.
So the need for physical things is no more really a definition of success.
Yeah.
But here, that would outlast, your advocacy is always on point, Bright. So I hope and I pray that nobody who is feeling pressured to meet up to outdated milestones continues to stay pressured, but believes in themselves enough to know that they are on time, they are enough, and success can be defined on their own terms.
Absolutely.
Are you as accomplished as your parents? And I would say, I've had this conversation with a bunch of friends, and the response is always no. Because again, when we look at what our parents were doing when they were our age, we are very much far from it. But that's not the point. I was talking to a friend's mom, and then she was like, it's quite sad that they are the only generation where they have to take care of their aged parents and also support their grown kids.
Wow.
That they are just right in the middle.
Wow.
And they felt like by the time they are in their 60s, their kids will be able to support them. But it's quite unfortunate that a whole lot of them can't even support themselves. A lot of them are still living at home, and they still have to support them. I love the fact that you said, going back to defining success on your own terms, I am a very big proponent of that. Like, people say, oh, you don't want this. No, I don't want it. It's not important to me. I don't even think about it. I tell people there is nobody's life that I want. I love my life because I've created it in a way that, you know, it suits me, it satisfies me. As a young person, if you're feeling pressured, I need you to understand that it gets better. You know, you need to keep at it. Success is a compounding game. Your skills and your network compound. So you have to keep going at it, and it will take you places as far as you keep going at it. That's it.
Interesting paradox, if I look at it in terms of how the world has shaped over the last 50 years. You know, like Zumah said, I look at my parents, and you know, their life as it also reflects the nation. If you look at a lot of our leaders in the 70s and even in the 80s, most of them were young people in their 30s and all that. And also, if you look at our parents at that time, they were all in that same age bracket, and they were doing amazing things. If I look at what I was able to do as a teenager, and I look at what my kids are doing now, I realize that the things I was able to do as a teenager, being independent, they can't even do it as well. So they are just like disconnected. So it's almost as if we are just like, you know, degrading to the point where the expectations of independence and success and growth, all those parameters are just, you know, changing rapidly. But then when you look at it, when you flip it on the other side, you see also the fact that we've created amazing, enormous wealth within the last 50 years. And one metric we can use is just to compare the number of millionaires and billionaires in the 70s and the 80s and the number of millionaires and billionaires today. So we have created enormous innovation, enormous technology, enormous value. We've added value. We've created wealth.
We? Who's we?
The world.
Okay, the world. Okay.
So,
Not talking about, not singling out Nigeria.
Not singling out
but that we've been using.
Yeah.
You know,
borrowing.
Yeah, borrowing.
But even in Nigeria, if you really want to do the numbers and say, okay, what were the numbers of millionaires or billionaires we had in the 70s and now? You probably have more now than you had then.
But what's the value of being a millionaire now compared to what the value of being a millionaire?
Yeah, so I'm saying that at the end of the day, it's about the fact that, okay, so there's a part of your advocacy you talk about apples and oranges. And I'm wondering that, are we really making the right comparisons? Because is the system as it was in the 60s and the 70s exactly the same way it is now, that we can make apple-to-apple comparison? Because when you look at it, there's been seismic shifts that has basically changed the way we interact with our world and the way we do things.
Your advocacy is really quite reflective. It reminds me of the book No Longer at Ease by Chinua Achebe. And there we saw the protagonists having to live in a conflicted life, having to try to measure up to the expectations of the people he studied abroad, and he had to come back to the colonial civil service. And you mentioned the civil service as well. Just as you mentioned life's checklist. At this point, at this age, you finish in school, you get married, you have children, and then you buy a house, and then you own a car, and life goes on like that. It's no longer the case in Nigeria. You have to deal with different kinds of things. Where is the job to start with?
Let's not
and
come
then
to
you now
Nigeria,
have to be an entrepreneur to make life bearable for yourself. Nowadays, we have 40-year-olds still living in their parents' houses. And then you said when hustles don't look like their parents' stability. And that's where what you're saying makes sense. Every generation has its energy. Every generation has its challenges. Every generation has their own vavavoux, what works for them. Right now, Nigeria is a different place from where our parents grew up in. And then finally, how do you measure success? Is it by the land you own, landed property? Is it by the car you drive?
Of course not.
Is it by the company you keep? What really is the measure of success? I'd love to know what Gen Z people think success is.
Right? So it's a whole different dynamic. So the saying comparing apples with orange comes to mind. Let's come to terms with the reality of our time and prepare to play by different rules.
Truth is good for the soul. So let's tell ourselves some truth. Aren't our government budgets unrealistic, unachievable, and irrelevant to the everyday life of Nigerians? Hold that thought. A budget is supposed to be more than just numbers on paper. It's a statement of intent, a social contract between government and the governed. But in Nigeria, budgets too often resemble yearly rituals. I mean, grand pronouncements at the start of the year only to be abandoned mid-year as unrealistic, unachievable, and let's be honest, irrelevant. The IMF, in its recent paper, Fiscal Forecasting Errors in Nigeria, did not mince words. It found our budgets are plagued by large and systemic forecasting errors. Revenues, it said, are consistently overestimated due to inflated oil production assumptions, while capital expenditure is habitually under-executed. The paper shows that we projected to get more revenues than we actually did in 13 of the 14 years covered by the study. In other words, our budgets are not just optimistic, they are detached from reality. This gap between rhetoric and reality was on full display just a few weeks ago when President Tinubu declared, Nigeria is not borrowing. We have met our revenue target for the year, and we met it in August. Staring words, you will say. But the numbers told a different story. As his aide later clarified, by August, only 20.59 trillion had been collected, barely half of the 41.9 trillion revenue target in the Appropriation Act. Target not met, claim not accurate, and the IMF warning confirmed. Don't get me wrong. It is indeed commendable that revenue, especially non-oil, has increased. But when leaders say we've met targets, we clearly have not. They do more than blend the truth. They erode trust. And when budgets are treated as wish lists rather than binding plans, they lose their power to discipline spending, to anchor expectations, to guide policy. Nigeria needs budgets grounded in realism, not fantasy. Documents that anticipate shocks, respect constraints, and are transparently monitored. Because at stake here is not just accounting, it's the integrity of budgeting and governance itself. What we demand from this government is budget integrity. Otherwise, our budgets will remain what they've too often been. Paper promises that bind no one, deliver little, and betray the very people they are meant to serve.
I must commend your ability to bring Nigeria on board every week, week in, week out. You are strong. You are made of stronger stuff than I am. That was me years ago. You can see I'm not Nigeria matter. I'm looking for this soft life from here on. You see, I let me borrow Zuma's word. Our budgets are just suggestions of what might occur. They are bombastic and Olympic in nature. They are. Why are you laughing? Yes, sir. Because I don't understand how in one breath you can say we have met. Next thing we are borrowing. Which one is it? Which one are you? Like it makes no sense. Did you say? Hey, wait. Discipline spending. Nehi. Did you say, hey, anchor expectation? Nehi. They're not interested in any of those. I wish we would come to terms with the fact that I pray one day that actually what we speak about will become a reality in the lives of Nigerians. Come on, man, because all these big numbers we see, the discipline of spending doesn't affect them. As you spoke about last week, their money is to be increased. But when it comes to labor, asking for 70K, there's ruckus, there's friction, there's all sorts of things. It's just, it's tiring. Our budgets really should be about truth and our capability to make expenditure and then show proof. Who is holding these people to account?
So the IMF said our budget is just vibes.
It's on vibes. It's our swag, but no presence. They said vibes.
No, but vibes are the conclusion. Like the entire overview. And they're saying it's largely due to inflated production assumptions. You know, Nigeria, we've been at this point where year in, year out, we keep saying our refineries will start working, I'll be able to do this, we'll be able to do that.
Wish list.
Oh, yes, it's very our budget is largely very aspirational, year in, year out. And I agree we need to do more in ensuring and be more conservative in our projections. Because we did it last year, the same thing, the year before, the same thing, 10, 14, 15 years running, same outcome. Let us just say, okay, let's assume, let's budget based on our current capacity and not on projected capacity.
I think Nigerians are very good at exaggerating. Right, like that.
And we are poor with numbers.
Yeah, I don't think we understand the importance of numbers. My friend showed me a video of an event that happened in.
And they said that 100 million was spent.
No, wait. An event that happened in Port Harcourt. It was like a Bole festival or something. This guy's just going to get screenshots right now. But so I saw the videos like 1 million people attended. I'm like, bro, do you know what 1 million people in one place?
And does the place have the capacity for 1 million people?
Like, do we even have a place that can take 1 million people at once in this
inside a building that is not outside?
In this continent, right? And I'm like, you guys just exaggerate numbers. And
vibes.
It cut across in everything that we do, right? One thing I've noticed about the government, and it's not just this one, is the fact that they understand that a huge number of the population have no idea what they're talking about. That's exactly why they're leveraging it. About probably 80% do not understand anything within those budgets. And if it's a government that is really intentional, and I'm talking about every single one of them, you would find a way to simplify for the people to understand.
But they don't want you to understand
what budget is about, what the purpose of the budget is, how it's going to be spent, how you as a citizen can monitor how it gets to you. It would, like, they'll communicate it in local languages.
Well, yeah, Yinka, you said sometimes these budgets resemble rituals. They do not. They're rituals. And then you said they detached from realities. They are. They are. So this reminds me of a former governor of Akwa Ibom, always giving big titles to his budget.
No, it's my state.
Is it Cross River?
Is it not my former governor?
You will hear things like budget of economic reconstruction.
It's my governor.
Nothing is reconstructed at the end of the day. You hear budget of redefining standards. Standards are still the way they.
It's aspirational.
If we come to your state governor,
yes,
I think it's that professor.
Yes, ma'am.
My goodness.
I'm sorry.
You know, so at the end of the day, Zumah said it.
Suggestions. These budgets are suggestions.
I'm done.
So, balancing the books means just that. Make the math add up, or else, whichever way you spin it, numbers don't lie, and no one is being fooled.
Indeed, Yinka. 1 + 1 will always be 2, except perhaps in matters of the heart, when I'll be saying, put numbers aside for a change and let love lead. The recent online debate sparked by the idea that Harry Styles' song Watermelon Sugar could be about an older woman highlights a deep-seated and often hypocritical double standard in how we view age gap relationships. While men dating significantly younger women is frequently accepted and even glorified, a woman's choice to date a younger man often invites scrutiny and judgment. Society's unwritten rules about dating are a cage, particularly for women. A man is rarely questioned for dating a woman young enough to be his daughter. Yet, a woman's choice to be with a younger partner is often met with raised eyebrows, whispers, and assumptions. This double standard limits women's freedom to love authentically and pressures them into staying within a narrow, socially acceptable age range. This arbitrary and unfair policing of adult relationships needs to stop. Love is not a mathematical equation based on birth years. It's a complex and beautiful bond built on mutual respect, shared values, and genuine emotional connection. For consenting adults with a fully developed prefrontal cortex, the only thing that should matter is whether two people find joy and fulfillment together. Let's reevaluate our own biases, look inward, and challenge our own preconceived notions about who can and should be together. Why do we feel differently about a 50-year-old man and a 25-year-old woman than we do about a 50-year-old woman and a 25-year-old man? Let's stop the judgments and instead celebrate couples who have found happiness together, regardless of their age difference. Let's normalize a wider range of relationship dynamics and dismantle the harmful stereotypes that hold us back. True compatibility comes from shared interests, emotional maturity, and mutual support, not from a number on a birth certificate. Let's choose partners based on their character and who they are as a person. Love is a personal journey, not a public performance judged by societal standards. It's time we let go of these restrictive norms and champion a world where everyone has the freedom to love and be loved authentically.
Are you going first?
No, I'm not.
A whole new world, a new fantastic point of view.
Oh my God.
Got to know why anybody don't live there. You see this life, let love lead. Because there shouldn't be double standard. And also, it's the person that cares to listen to you. I've seen relationships where the woman is older and the young guy is very happy. Very happy, respect. You sure they are happier than the ones that are matching in age. Or the older man and the young girl who will leave him to his hospital bed and go find somebody else.
Why are you pointing to me?
I didn't point, I did my hand like this. All I'm saying is let people be. Let them live their lives as they feel. Like you said, a fully functional and developed prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for decision making, planning, and problem solving, should be left alone to be. Because this life, it's not balanced.
Kate, wait. Women like to eat their cake and have it.
Yeah. At least men.
And wait,
okay,
now,
let
me finish.
Okay, you cut into mine, but continue.
I think women like to eat their cake and have it. And, you know, we're dealing with this challenge where women approach the subject of love and relationship and structure around relationship on the basis of how they feel at a particular time.
As opposed to what, please?
No, let me explain.
Okay.
I'm getting somewhere. So typically what you find is that the younger a woman is, the more she has a tendency to be attracted to older men. Okay, she's young, and many men, and I'm sure many men out there will attest to you that the girl that they loved in class, in school, at their age, never loved them back. Not because
I agree with you.
Not because they were not good enough, but because they were attracted to older men.
Wow.
Now,
coming from
a woman, hang on, a woman, everybody understands that a woman has a prime age, all right? I mean, she's
you
in her prime.
You men have prime age.
I'm not saying whatever.
Land.
And then after a while, that woman gets to be in her older years, okay? After her prime, all right? And then suddenly, she's attracted to young men. And then she now wants to change the rules and now says that, okay, you know what? Oh, you know what? Love is a beautiful thing. Age is nothing but a number. We should
Yeah, I would have done that. Wow,
we've done that.
You are not the one to tell tell me
can't be pushing the
when I'm
rules.
going to love.
Hang on.
Let him cook.
Zumah said in our advocacy, he said, love is not a mathematical equation based on birthday. It's a complex and beautiful bond built on mutual respect, shared values, and genuine emotional. I agree, absolutely. Let that be your stand from the very get-go.
You cannot tell me.
Don't determine that, okay, at some point in my life, all right, I can choose to do it differently. And then when I get older, no, it doesn't work that way.
Women generally are typically hypergamous in nature.
What?
Hypergamous.
In nature. They are typically attracted to people who are more accomplished than them.
Hypergamous.
Right? And in the younger years, an average woman is typically more accomplished than an average man of their peer. Of their peer.
But you agree with
Hold
me
on,
that
let me finish. Let me finish. And then, over time, the boys, they match up, and then sometimes they supersede. And then at that point, they become more attractive. Hypergamy comes into play again. So,
It's very unfair.
How very unfair. That's right.
It's hypocritical.
I disagree.
You're changing the rules.
There are no rules.
There are no rules. We're saying there shouldn't be any rules.
Let me just quickly say something. You see, we're wired the way we're wired.
We are who we are. We didn't make
Who we
ourselves.
are without apologies, right? First of all, when I think it's Kate who said it, when we're younger, we're looking for someone who can challenge us. Many women are looking for someone that they can
Inspire us.
and can inspire you.
Maybe like a father figure, even.
Yeah,
Like daddy,
I wanted a man who was older, much older than me when I was growing up. Now, the thing is, when you get older, we're not the ones seeking the younger men. They come for us. Wait a minute, I am speaking from an aggregate.
But that's the 100% true.
Okay.
Now, I am speaking from an aggregate of experiences from my friends and my own experience as well. You have to, come to terms with the fact that older women are more attractive because we ooze confidence. We have learned our lessons, and so we come without. We don't care what you. We just
own our
we
stuff.
own our spaces. Now, I read a post on Facebook recently, a woman who died from intimate partner violence. And Ufoma Bernard wrote on Facebook that women should stop marrying down. What does he mean by that? If you're more accomplished than a man, don't go for a man that you're more accomplished than.
What about love? Where does love come into it then?
Hold on, because we women go for love. And then the society brands accomplished women as, oh, they're too accomplished, they're not going to look for men who don't have as much money as they have.
So you should devalue love and go for...
So we try to defy societal expectations.
You're biased already.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Hold on, let me finish. So we defy this love that Zumah has described here. And we say, look, this is where I found love. Yes, I'm more economically, stable than this guy, but I'm going to marry them. I'm going to marry him. By the end of the day, it ends in tears.
Most of the time.
And death, many times. So I wholeheartedly agree with Zumah. Wherever love finds you, go for it.
Take it where you see
If
it.
you find love in your old years or older years, go for it. But at the same time, I want to appeal to us women. Try to not marry down. Because that is at the heart, that's at the heart of intimate partner violence, which is on the rise.
I said to my friend a couple of days ago, I'm like, men, I think Kate will understand this more. This world belongs to women. If this world was a movie,
absolutely.
If this world was a movie,
Oh, you agree?
If this world was a movie,
Okay.
they are the main character, but not even like side.
Why would I agree with this because you
understand Wakapas.
Okay.
In the movie, no Wakapas, Abi.
Yeah.
Don't give the
No, they don't.
Don't they enter credit?
You did. We just need the back of the head.
Background.
Yes.
We're just in the background. It's their world. Because I just experienced something extraordinary on this table right now. You gave a point that I was with you. See, you locked me in. I was like, yo, I'm going that way. I'm voting for you. And she came and she just hit bah. And I'm like, come on, this is big. She's very friends too. Because she's like, she just got one English that just diminished everything you said. Because at the end of the day, she's right. Women want to date upwards.
Yeah.
At their young age, because a woman at 25 and a guy at 25, they're not the same.
Go join.
She is like you said, she's in her prime because she's on the. We started getting our prime by 35. I'm in my prime right now. At 25, I wasn't.
Brilliant ads.
So you see.
Brilliant ads.
I wasn't on my prime at 25.
Oh.
At 25, she's on her prime.
We're more mature.
We get on our prime later on. Some people get to 40 before they get on their prime as
Sorry
men.
about what happened, Sha.
You know, so it's important that so there's a lot of truth in that.
Yes.
But at the same time, we need to be considerate.
Empathy.
Yes. We need to be considerate.
Who should be considerate?
Both gender.
Okay, I agree with you.
Right?
I will agree with you.
I have no problem. I wouldn't actually even find myself at some point being attracted to older women. At some point.
Are you hearing?
I'm just saying. I'm saying it is possible. I don't think love has anything to do with age.
Yes, God bless you.
Right? I don't think,
shouldn't.
and also I understand where she's coming from when, we talk about men getting married at 70, 60, 65, they're getting married to 22, 22, 24.
And nobody cares.
It's cool.
It's cool. They don't even go and celebrate like,
right?
wow.
But when a woman does the same thing
And
on
she's a
social
cougar.
media, I think that is wrong. I think there should be a balance
God
when it
bless
comes
you.
to how we share our perspective on that topic. But I get where you're coming from, Yinka, and I feel you.
Coming from a hurt place.
But
Leave it.
at the same time, like I said,
You stand with the woman.
While in the background,
Zumah, take it away, Ojare.
Completely with you, Zumah.
Bridging the gender gap equally applies in matters of the heart. Put it another way, what's good for the goose is equally good for the gander.
Goosey, gander. Women, have you heard Zumah? Better look after yourselves going forward because the world is fast becoming your oyster and you'll need stamina to live this life to the fullest.
Stamina. You're going to need more stamina.
For too long, strength training and the need to have muscles have been discouraged for women, but that narrative is being positively challenged. Newsflash, if you're a young woman in your 30s or navigating the changes of perimenopause in your 40s and beyond, strength training is one of the most powerful tools you are not using. It's common to gravitate towards cardio, and when trying to stay fit or lose weight, but relying on cardio alone can leave your hormones out of balance and your long-term health at risk. These are the positives of strength training. Hormone helper. Strength training supports a healthy balance of estrogen and progesterone, which influence everything from your skin to sleep to your mood. As estrogen naturally declines with age for women, lifting weights can help reduce those hot flashes, preserve your lean muscle, and improve your bone density. It boosts your testosterone. Yes, women have testosterone also. Women naturally have testosterone. It fuels energy, libido, muscle strength, and mental clarity. Lifting weights gives your body a natural and safe testosterone boost, no supplements needed. It also gives you insulin sensitivity and weight control, helps muscles utilize glucose, improving insulin sensitivity, helping regulate your blood sugar levels. This is crucial whether you're preventing future metabolic issues or managing PCOS, prediabetes, or midlife weight gain. It calms your cortisol, which is the stress hormone. Too much cardio, especially when paired with busy, high-stress lifestyles, can elevate your cortisol, leading to stubborn belly fat, fatigue, and disrupted sleep. Strength training promotes a healthier cortisol rhythm, helping you feel stronger, calmer, and more resilient. It's beyond just looks, trust me. It sharpens your cognitive function, improves your confidence, and combats anxiety, brain fog that can come with hormonal changes. Bottom line, whether you're in your 30s, building for long-term health, or in your 40s, preparing for menopause. If you don't know about menopause, please go and read about it, women. And the men too. Don't skip weights. I beg you. You're not training for muscles, just that, you're not. You're training for hormone health, your mood, metabolism, and longevity. Start where you are. I'm not saying go and carry 50 kg. Kate said 100 kg. Start where you are, lifting what you can. Progressively go up and then watch your body. Thank you.
You know, the thing about, you know, when it comes to like fitness and health, you're a coach. A lot of us look up to you. The guy that came with Jeffrey today was like, his girlfriend saw you and was inspired by you and entered the gym. After 2 months, you came back, she was like, I can't do it.
No,
2 months, she was like, I cannot do it. So I really, really appreciate your advocacy, because one thing that a lot of young people don't understand is a lot of people go to the gym because they want to see results immediately.
It's not possible.
Going to fitness is not an immediate result. It has to be a lifestyle.
Delayed gratification is what you get.
Yeah, it's the same thing as success. It's compoundment. It compounds over time. So when you're going to the gym, because it gets discouraging when you go and you lift weight, and then the next day you're going to the mirror, you're like, what did you say now? I can't see this bullet today, you know? So it gets really discouraging. But if you understand that what it does is something I saw one time, and the guy was describing the different effects of things based on time. So he says, like, if you don't drink water, you feel it immediately, right? Because
you get dehydrated immediately.
So you can feel it immediately. If you don't eat food, you can feel it. If you hold your breath, you can feel it. And same thing with your body. Like, working out is an essential part of life, like water, like breathing air.
100%.
But the difference is you don't see the effect immediately. It comes gradually. So over the years, 10 years, that you now start seeing the effect. But it's as important. The way you breathe air, you have to understand that's important.
Thank you for this advocacy. I feel like this is for me. I do a lot of cardio, but I don't strength train, largely because I am not a gym person. I want something I can do outdoor. I don't like the idea of being tied to a particular place because I move around a lot. So the question I would like to ask is, what are the training options that are not tied to a gym?
That's the answer. You have to, it's consultation, please. I'm doing this for free right now. It's economy, not even free. Not even free.
People looking at, do I need to start fetching water from the well? You know, so that at least I will feel like I'm doing some form of...
That will help. So to be honest, for people who say they cannot afford the dumbbells, carrying stuff, even carrying your bottle of water, you're putting in your dispenser, your bag of rice, the simple movements that help with your daily functions, it helps. Okay, I would also like to say that this advocacy is not just for women. I know you directed it to women. Bone density increases from your mid-30s, male or female. Starts going down. From 0.5 to 1% every year. You know, by the time you're in your mid-30s, your bone is declining. So pretty much everybody will need to strength train. But for postmenopausal women, it's accelerated. You start losing about 2 to 4% of your bone density. So it's very important for women more than men. Yes, that's why I'm focusing on for you to strength train. Please, I don't know, you will have to help my life.
This is another conversation that women whisper about. Yes. They don't want you to know that they're going through a lot. Yes. And look, when you're perimenopausal or you're menopausal, your life is upside down. Totally. You're not yourself again. You can't sleep. You have hyperpigmentation. You have all kinds of things that you're dealing with. Anxiety, everything. You have anxiety sometimes. You're spotting even at work. Heart palpitations. Yes, so many symptoms. All manner of symptoms. You know, so it looks like a joke, but Kate, you're spot on this one, and I'm sure that menopausal women watching us will be like, oh, okay, because it is hard to open up to people, right? It is very hard for menopausal women to open up. I don't do strength training. I just walk because I need the air and I need to move because I know that there's another heart by your calf. Yes, so your legs actually have the biggest muscle. Yeah, so I move those. But this strength training, I think it's a new one for me. And I know for a lot of people who would look into it.
I think there's a part of your advocacy which is something that we have overlooked for a long time. And that's the understanding of men about how to deal with menopausal women.
Yes, they don't.
And I'm saying that from, experience, as someone who, has to deal with a woman who is going through menopause and seeing the changes, going on with her and trying to figure it out because, like you said, the signs are obvious. There's the lack of estrogen, and then some things can't just be put into words.
Yeah.
That's it.
You really can't explain it.
Yeah.
She can't explain it. Okay? And it started very confusing, but now we've come to some kind of understanding of it. And sometimes I tell her, when you're in that phase, you don't have to explain to me. Just let me know that I'm there. So I will know exactly how to interact. And I think that men need a lot of education.
They do, to be honest.
Around so that they can be there for their woman.
Instead of labeling them.
Because it's easy to look at the woman
like we spoke about menstruation.
Yeah.
I just say, what, I don't understand what is going on with you. You are, at some point I had to tell my wife. In fact, one day I called her and I said, hope you know I love you.
Oh, Yinka.
Yeah, because it's a very uncertain time.
And this was coming from a time when she just didn't want to talk to me.
Yeah, don't want to touch.
She just doesn't even want to see me.
It's part of it,
And that was it. She didn't talk to me for days, and it wasn't as if there was anything, there was nothing, But she was just at that point where she couldn't
was just
and I just left her. And by herself, by the time she came back, she was hyper, and everything.
Hyper with
And so there's a need for men to be educated in things like this. And I love your advocacy and about those things. I'll send it to my wife also. I think that because she's doing quite a lot of
awareness.
She's doing some gymming and all that. And she's also carrying weight right now as well. So thank you for that.
I'd like to add something before you wrap up. I think we've spoken about this when you had the advocacy about the menstruation. And I feel like one of the biggest problems in our society, and it affects every single thing because we coexist, we have to coexist, is the fact that men don't know about women and women don't know about men. And that even affects down to our relationships and how we bring up kids. Like people don't understand the depth of that.
For all of my women out there, exercise is not punishment. It's an investment in yourself. It's your love language to you that says, I owe it to me to be the best version of myself that I can be. Spirit, soul, and body.
And when you put it that way, Kate, I think I could learn to speak some good language to myself as well. However, here is a case of people exercising themselves not in a productive way, but in exam 419. I'm turning away from governance to interrogate the attempts by over 4,000 Nigerian students to game the system at the 2025 UTME. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, through its Special Committee on Examination Infractions, has revealed troubling statistics that border on disbelief. Their findings show that there were 4,251 cases of finger blending, a technique used to manipulate biometric identification, and 190 cases of AI impersonation, where image morphing technology was deployed that cheats the system. Now, these are not the usual crude tricks of the past. They are advanced methods that show how deeply technology is being twisted for wrongdoing. So artificial intelligence is now part of exam malpractice in Nigeria. It's an all-encompassing scandal. The committee also uncovered nearly 1,900 false disability claims, forged credentials, multiple NIN registrations, and outright collusion between candidates and examination syndicates. This is not the government this time. This is a highly organized, tech-driven fraud machine. one that involves parents, schools, tutorial centers, and even some CBT operators, making the ecosystem of cheating even harder to dismantle. Chair of the committee, Dr. J.K. Pele, described the work as a moral duty, a fight for the soul of meritocracy in Nigeria. And the recommendations are that adoption of AI-powered anomaly detectors, a central examination security operations center, cancellation of fraudulent results, prosecution of offenders, and the creation of central sanctions registry that employers and universities can access. In addition to punishment, the panel called for prevention, digitizing correction processes, verifying disability claims more rigorously, outlawing bulk registrations, and updating the JAMB Act to recognize digital fraud. Most importantly, it asks for a cultural reset, an integrity-first campaign that embeds ethics in school curricula, holds parents accountable when they aid malpractice, and emphasizing rehabilitation instead of punishment for minors caught cheating. JAM's report forces us all to confront an uncomfortable truth: the credibility of Nigeria's education system and the future of our human capital. Cheating in exams isn't just about passing a paper. It frames the society we're building, whether we're building one that rewards merit or one that normalizes fraud.
This thing is a home thing. It's from the house.
I tire.
I remember Yinka saying on this table once about your dad not wanting to give you a leg up, but you're looking for admission or something like that. And he said, no, you must. That's how I was brought up.
That's
That's
proper
how,
parenting.
I mean, like, you cannot be heard that you were caught cheating. In short, I doubt if you enter the house, but I hear stories of parents even assisting in exam malpractices for their children. Of what use would that child be if they cheat through exams and come out to the real world and see that you can't cheat through life?
That's it.
And if you cheat through life, you're not going to survive that long because you'll be found out. I mean, and JAMB itself is not making things easy because they are not upright. He who comes to equity is with clean hand. Is your hand clean? When you can't even post the right results, you're having mistakes up and down, you're covering up for each other. In both parties, parents should be held accountable. Students, right there, I remember our exams, if the invigilator catch you, it's over for you.
It is.
You are going to redo that class or the term, and nobody's begging for you.
That's right.
Nobody. So values have changed, morals are down the toilet, and a lot needs to be done before I'm sure it's worse now. So we just need to rejig the whole system.
I think it's the problem with Africa and Nigeria and our educational system is we're reactive. We're not proactive. You can't sit down and see the world change and expect that your system is not going to affect your system or your current structure. It's mind-boggling. The world is changing. Students are using AI to do their assignment. They don't have to read. They don't even read it when they send the prompt. They take it and then they submit it. Well, so now you can't expect not to have a system that can detect that. You can't wait. So this is a great advocacy. But my issue is, you should know that if there are new technology, there are new systems coming up, it's going to affect what already exists. You're not living outside of the system. You're within the system. And so you have to be proactive as they're designing AI that will do this. You also are designing things or looking forward to things that you can use to detect and check to be sure that, you're able to verify, people that are cheating. Right, so I feel like our problem is we're very proactive. We're reactive. I don't have no sympathy for them. I have absolutely no sympathy for them. It's their job. If there's a loophole, people will take advantage of it.
I think that's what they did with this special committee to find out what's going on.
Always special committee, always
find out what's going. They're supposed to be ahead of time. Oh, these things are going to be happening. Let's create measures ahead of time. That's their job. That's why we have research centers. What are they for? Every single year, we spend a lot of money on research. World Bank, UNDP, they're all giving money for research. What are they researching?
Committee.
Zumah.
Okay, so I'm with Bright. We need to do a whole lot more in building resilient systems and also do resilience testing. Like, you can't have a platform and say you're doing it for this and you're not going to do. You need to pay people to try and hack the system. Like, you absolutely need for you to be able to show that, okay, yes, this is good enough to be rolled out. Beyond that, they don't link how their actions shape their reality. We keep complaining year in, year out about the quality of graduates we have, the quality of employees we have. If you, as a parent, you are the one sponsoring your child to go and cheat, you now come back 4 years later, you can't find anybody to employ. How will you find anybody to employ? The doctors that at the hospital, if you send your child to a special center, enable them to cheat, they are the ones that will treat you and your loved ones.
Yes, now. The doctor will carry stethoscope and put in your eye. I'm thinking it's an teacher.
So it's important for us to understand how cheating affects the overall society. Everywhere you turn, we talk about incompetence. It starts from the schools. So we all need to take a stand against cheating and not enable cheating in any form, particularly when it comes to academics.
It actually probably means that they are providers, companies or organizations who provide the service.
CBT operators.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you can't do this without CBT operators, without parents, and without teachers. So there is an ecosystem, really, that is organizing this, and parents are paying for it.
They are. So shame.
I agree with everything you have said. You guys have said, and I don't want to I don't want to move away from that. But I do want to draw attention to also a part of our society that enables this. The overwhelming pressure we put on children to pass exams. It's something that we have to talk about, okay? Because it drives this need to the end justifies
the means,
that kind of a thing. And it drives, I'm not excusing the actions, but when you look, if you have been opportune to be educated outside of this country, you find out that exams is not all that do or die thing.
Really?
It's not so.
Absolutely.
But in Nigeria, exam is do or die.
Report card.
And so Zumah talked about cultural. There's a need for the cultural reset. Sorry. Funke talked about cultural reset. And so this is also part of it. That cultural reset that we must have. We must let our children know that it's not a do or die thing. It's not the end of the world. If you fail exams, yes, that's you failed the exam. Well, we can try again. You can do it again. And that was what my dad did for me. Like I said at this table, I did jam 4 times. And it wasn't as if I failed. It was just the case that I didn't get the cut-off mark. Did not get there. My brother said, keep doing it.
He didn't say go for a lesser discipline.
Tell me that this excuse was always very ridiculous. He said, our Lord did not get into university when he was 30. I was like, what's my business with our Lord? This is me. This is my life. But you said, that the people that you thought have gone ahead of you, that later in life you'll find out that when you compare, you guys are at the same level. And that's the truth, because the people that I thought that had gone to university, my colleagues, later in life, we're all at the same level. And the same message I told my daughter when she was, this rush by children to get into secondary school from age 9, 10. And they skip primary 6. My kids, they all did primary 6. And I told them, look, this one you are rushing. That 1 year you think you have lost. By the time you are done, you find out that you've not lost it. So culturally, we need to also have that conversation about how we must not pressure children into this life of, if you fail in an exam, you failed for life.
I would like, as an add-on to what you said, I would like to share the story of a student. I read it maybe yesterday, who killed herself because she failed an exam.
In Nigeria?
In Nigeria. I read it yesterday. That the school uploaded the wrong result. She didn't even actually fail it. It's a whole mess.
Well, you see, I asked the question, how do you measure success? I mean, there are people who are painters, who are furniture makers, and they're very successful. Life does not end
people who left accounting, started baking cake, and they're making
So what is this obsession about getting a certificate by crook or by whatever means? I've certainly had a workout on today's edition. Have you? If you have, then join us again at this table, same time next week. Until then, au revoir. Bye-bye.
What's that thing you were doing? What's that?
No. So you need to win, though. You need to win.